Ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto and the entire Kenya Kwanza brigades are having sleepless nights as we speak in this country. Because on Friday, there's going to be a massive demonstration across the entire Republic of Kenya. Sabasaba Rally.
Kwa sababu saa ingine unaweza patiwa jukumu kubwa mpaka hujui hata kazi yako ni gani. Sasa Duale, kama ni treason, mimi nasema saa hii nikitoka hapa shika mimi Sabasaba, na nataka useme Sabasaba, 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 Saba, tukitoka hapa Duale shika mimi na hao wote.
And for those who've been following William Ruto's speeches of late, he's actually been making reference to peaceful demonstrations, that he doesn't have any problem with Raila Odinga leading demonstrations in the country.
Hata wale watu wa upinzani, mimi na waheshimu wafanye kazi ya upinzani, lakini wafanye kazi ya upinzani wakijua Kenya ni yetu sote. Tupange vizuri, tukosoe kwa mpango, sio kwa kuharibu.
In fact, according to William Ruto, he has subdued Raila Odinga. But 7th is going to be special. 7th is going to be different.
That's the first time I was chased away by tear gas.
Sabasaba actually traces back to 1990, when pro-democracy demonstrations were actually held throughout the country. It became so powerful that the former president Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi had to ban the use of the word Sabasaba. It was actually illegal, like what I'm doing right now, making reference to Sabasaba, was illegal. During that time, William Ruto was part and parcel of KANU. And Raila Odinga, James Orengo, Kenneth Matiba, Charles Rubia, Martin Shikuku, Gitobe Manyara, and the rest were actually the ones behind Sabasaba. And on the day of the Sabasaba, a day before Sabasaba, 3 gentlemen were arrested. And that's why this day is going to be significant on Friday. Raila was arrested on that particular day. Matiba was arrested on that particular day. And Rubia was also arrested on that particular day. And that Sabasaba is what opened the door for the repeal of Section 22. Is it Section 22 or Section 2A? Which allowed for multipartyism. That particular day is remembered as being the first open defiance, when Kenyans for the first time defied government and attended a rally at Makwiny. And it led to public agitation for multi-party democracy. So the history of Sabasaba in this country is so dear to several individuals in the Republic of Kenya. And that's why it is giving William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua, and Musalia Mudavadi sleepless nights. It takes them back to the days of KANU. So I want us to look at why William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza are having sleepless nights because of the plans by Sabasaba for this Sabasaba Rally. Before you do that, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And without any further ado, let me ask you this question. When we talk of Sabasaba, what comes to your mind? For me, when I talk of Sabasaba, let me just play for you this short clip. That's exactly what comes to my mind Timothy Njoya, how he was clobbered on that particular day. That's what comes to my mind.
The parliament was reconvened to talk about my sermon because it was more declared it is subversive. I recruited a Shahara from NFD, Sheikh Abdi. I decided to recruit not Christians only, to recruit everybody.
I don't know what comes to your mind when we talk of Sabasaba. I know for others, when they talk of Sabasaba, this photo of James Orengo, Martin Shikuku, and other young Turks there comes to their mind. But why is this particular rally giving William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza sleepless nights? Because let's face it, William Ruto has managed to actually deal with Raila Odinga's latest political demonstrations to some extent successfully, to an extent that he was able to play Raila Odinga into calling off maandamano. And from that moment up to now, I think William Ruto really played Raila Odinga to call off the maandamano through that bipartisan talks. But let us not get into that. Why do you think William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza are having sleepless nights? Number one, in my view, is the role of the civil society in organizing the upcoming Sabasaba Rally. You see, if you've been following the civil society during handshake, even now, they kind of slowed down. The kind of civil society we have today is not like the one we had before. And I was talking to someone within the civil society, and they were like, for them, they want a peaceful, non-violent demonstration. But there's fear that for Azimio, they want a violent demonstration, which is the language which Kenya Kwanza understands. So those two groups, the civil society, some of them are still in the pocket of William Ruto, because William Ruto actually managed to win the support of the civil society groups ahead of the last election. They were supporting him. But after he won the presidency, William Ruto has made so many mistakes. One of them is failure to implement what they agreed with the civil society. So most of this civil society are not happy with him. So the fear is that this civil society will actually join them, join Azimio. And once they join Azimio, the rally will not be really Azimio per se. And the other fact is that there is no way you can fight civil society and fight opposition at the same time. You will have to choose one. If it was Azimio's rally, Sabasaba Rally, then it would have been different. And the other fear they have is that the civil society will be able to win the support of the church, will be able to fight on, they will be able to have the international community on their side, which takes me to the second fear which Kenya Kwanza is facing. The high cost of living currently in the country. Just last week, the finance bill was ascended to by William Ruto. And the next day, the cost of fuel was increased. Currently, there are places in the Republic of Kenya where fuel per liter goes beyond 200 bob. It's the first time. And of course, there's no employment. Youths are just there. Everything is up, and they are promising to increase, which means it would be possible for other Kenyans who are dissatisfied with this government to actually join in this Sabasaba Rally. And that's something they don't want to happen. For them, they want this Sabasaba Rally, or they are comfortable with anything called maandamano, as long as it's painted to be a Luo affair. Currently, and I think I need to do a video about it, I saw a clip of Kikuyu youths asking Raila Odinga to come and help them fight high cost of doing business and the taxation. So for me, the cost of living can trigger a revolution. And that is exactly what is worrying William Ruto, and that's exactly what is worrying Kenya Kwanza. And that's why this particular rally this particular Sabasaba, they don't want it. There's a chance that even the church are likely to join it. There's a chance that because of cost of living, we might witness demonstrations even in Rift Valley. And that is something which this government would not want to happen. So that's number 2. Number 3, in my view, is the international pressure. You see, the truth of the matter is that Sabasaba has a history. And its revival would mean that the international community will closely monitor whatever is happening. The international media will be in the country. As we speak, there's serious demonstrations in France. And the international media are not really showing it the way it should. But for Kenya, if you're going to have roads being barricaded, if you're going to have people, goons looting, it's going to be a serious headache. So the international community would have interest and pile pressure on William Ruto. Because remember, William Ruto is actually a product of the international community. William Ruto never won the presidency. William Ruto was placed into office by the American government and the British government. That's a known fact. So the British government and American government would not want a situation where Kenya is seen to be in chaos. Not because of politics, but because of the cost of living, taxation, and the rest. But probably they are the ones piling pressure on Ruto to also increase those taxes. So let us wait and see. But I think the international pressure is going to be too much on William Ruto to see the grounds for Azimio and even the civil society. Number 4, in my view, William Ruto has always been trying so hard to project an image of a Democrat. Someone who respects democracy. And he's been doing this because of his mission internationally. He's been going outside there, lecturing president. The other day you saw how he was lecturing Macron. Yeah? So he would still want to get international platform to advocate or advance his democratic credentials. Just the other day he was on CNN. Was it CNN? Yes. Where he was being interviewed. And the interviewer had to actually question why he was cagey with some answers. But the truth is, William Ruto would want to appear as a Democrat. But how will he appear as a Democrat if he's going to thwart any attempt to organize this demonstration? If his police are going to stop the demonstrations, if they're going to maim people. So it means that platform which is already enjoying is going to be taken away from him. And lastly, and this is the biggest fear in Kenya Kwanza, that these demonstrations, if not checked, are likely to create momentum for anti-government movements. And this momentum can actually be pushed until the next election. If, for example, the Sabasaba in the 90s created the momentum for the repeal of Section 20, Section 2A, which led to the introduction of multipartyism, and you know what happened next? Daniel Moi was defeated. Then it means the feeling is that Azimio, the civil society, can actually sustain this momentum up to the election. Ruto would not want that to happen. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.